This is Cape Chronicle, and I'm Mike Rennick. Just a friendly reminder that while we are not wearing masks during our conversation, we are following CDC guidelines and staying safe by maintaining at least 6 feet of social distance, and all our student production crew members are wearing masks during the taping of this program. Now we welcome Dr. Debbie Below, the Vice President of Enrollment, Management, and Student Success at Southeast Missouri State University, to talk about how the university is protecting the nest. Welcome, Dr. Below.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Boy, we were just talking, such a large job. Every part of Southeast being enveloped in this. So we're about, 7 months or so into kind of pandemic time, and how are things right now on campus?
You know, things are good, and all of the credit for that goes to our students. The students who are here producing, this show today. As you said, the entire crew is in mask, and there isn't anywhere you can go on campus and see that students aren't completely compliant, not only compliant, but very supportive of the Protect the Nest plan.
That's, as I was thinking about this, it really just takes an effort and a buy-in from so many people, because there are so many areas that are affected with this.
And communication has been key really from the get-go. Our very first meeting on campus was the end of January. We went into that telework environment as spring break, as our students were on spring break, and we said, unfortunately, you're going to be learning through the rest of the semester remotely. And that gave us the spring and most of the summer to plan. Our priority was that we would return to in-person instruction to the extent that we can, with lots of modifications, of course.
Sure.
And it was a very busy summer preparing and planning for that, and communicating the plan, and getting buy-in as well as input from students, from faculty, staff. And so we're now, halfway through the semester, and things are going well.
I would assume it's a ever-evolving plan.
That's right. It is an evolving plan. You have to pay attention to where COVID is today, what the environment is like. The conversation, quite frankly, this morning was the students are entering now that final month of in-person instruction. They're going to be going home at Thanksgiving. And how do we communicate to students the importance of making sure that we aren't all subject to COVID fatigue, right? We're learning that term and we're all feeling it, but we want them not only to stay safe for us, but for the families that they're returning home to. And so that will be the message for the next several weeks. So
you mentioned this kind of final month. So what is the schedule, so to speak, as far as leaving campus and then when they'll return?
Yeah, so the high points, or the major concern points around COVID, we all know, are about those large gatherings and close contact. And we understand that holidays are going to be just that. And so our students will be going, their last day of in-person instruction will be Tuesday prior to the Thanksgiving break. Then they have 1 week of remote learning and 1 week of finals. We have also adjusted the spring semester. So in the spring, the students will return a week later, and then they're forgoing spring break. We've added a few reading days in there, and again, we're starting later. And that just gives students a little bit more time between that new year and the start of the semester, again, to sort of, quarantine, avoid large gatherings, and be prepared to start the semester healthy.
And graduation will look how?
Oh, good question. It was, of all the things that we've had to do, not holding an in-person May graduation was one of the most challenging. We are planning 2 commencements in November, one on November 14th for our spring and summer graduates, and one on November 21st for those who would have graduated in December. We're just moving their commencement ceremony up.
Okay.
But it will be much smaller, and fortunately, again, our students really have been wonderful. We've said, unfortunately, you're going to have to limit the number of guests to 6. And everybody's just kind of going along with the plan, and it's really been great.
So you have had some in-person learning, virtual learning as well, throughout this Protect the Nest.
Yeah, and I think we're learning as we go, and we're learning that there are ways to deliver. And we've always, not always, but for the last couple of decades now, Southeast has had a robust online presence.
Sure.
At the same time, many students say they learn better in person, and so we were able to preserve the majority of our in-person classes. Some did move to online, and some are in a mixed format where the student is in class one day, but then maybe learning remote another day that week. And then another new method is hybrid or high flex, where there are multiple modalities and the student can choose the mode of the day.
How much collaboration with other universities? Contacting them much, or is it you kind of devise the plan all on your own?
I'd say there's been each institution is developing the plan that fits their campus, but there has been an incredible amount of collaboration. There probably isn't a day that goes by that some entity on campus isn't in a statewide meeting with their counterparts, whether that is chief academic officers, chief information officers, chief enrollment officers, presidents, your task force related to health and safety, public safety, so lots of collaboration. Good question.
A couple minutes left here, so as you know, one day I know that we're all hoping that this will be past this. Do you see things that will stay, that you have stumbled upon, so to speak, and like, well, this is good. This is something that we think that we'll keep for years to come?
I think we're all going to naturally yearn for more in-person contact when this is over. However, I think we have learned that if the only way the student can get to class is Zoom, faculty seem to be very open to that. We know how busy everyone's lives are, and so I think maybe that hybrid mixed mode of technology as well as in person may be here to stay.
I know that there are not a lot of snow days at SEMO, but it kind of takes those away. You have the ability, any of those emergency type of days that maybe you couldn't meet at the classroom, well, now you're familiar with Zoom and can get it done that way. Potentially.
And students and faculty are getting used to new technology in the classroom. We were able to ramp up and in many classrooms have technology that we didn't have a year ago. And then some of the smaller things, but they're more meaningful as well, the amount of outdoor seating. And I know that's not what you're asking, but you can go on campus today and there are always students sitting outside. We've added just hundreds and hundreds of outdoor seats because we know people need to get out, and so that's been good too.
Well, congratulations. I know it's been a huge undertaking for the university, and I think that we're lucky to be where we're at and be on the campus of SEMO and knowing that the students are the number one priority for you, and you can see that in the Protect the Nest campaign, so congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you, and thank you for bringing attention to the campaign.
Thank you for being here today. We've been visiting with Dr. Debbie Below, the Vice President of Enrollment Management and Student Success at Southeast Missouri State University. Thank you for being with us today. And thank you for joining us today for Cape Chronicle. The program is a collaboration between the Department of Mass Media at Southeast Missouri State University, the City of Cape Girardeau, and River Radio. Our producer is Nicolette Brennan, the Public Information Officer for the City of Cape Girardeau. Our executive producer is Dr. Jim Dufek. I'm Mike Rennick. Thanks for watching.